Shannon and Chris were a happy couple who resided in southern Kansas together. They were both recently retired people, so had a lot of alone time, and so they took it upon themselves to have a movie night. Shannon kindly took the responsibility of supplying the snacks for the night, and left Chris all alone in the house whilst she did so. The house was very tucked away and deep in the woodlands, with only a few houses nearby to contact. The residents in these houses were lovely and couldn't have been better neighbors to Shannon and Chris, but at night things were very eerie in the area. Typically, Shannon would take 30 minutes going to their closest store, but this time she had been 35, and Chris was starting to become rather worried. As if he couldn't get any more spooked though, the following happened.
Okay guys, I thought this was the neighbors yesterday. Look at this. What the fuck? Hello? Is anybody here? What the fuck was that? Oh my god. Oh shit. This place is freaky. I thought that picture last night was the neighbors. I thought it was the neighbors last night. Oh my god. But there's nobody next door. Their room's totally vacant. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Somehow, the drawing fell from the wall to the floor, and Chris was understandably left in a state of complete confusion. He sat there for a moment and wondered to himself what possibly could have made this happen, but that is a mystery even Scooby-Doo would be left unable to solve. The following video was captured by a father named Phil, and he was extremely concerned about what he managed to get on tape. The time was 9 p.m., and he was attempting to get his son, Yiki, to get some sleep before school the next day. Furthermore, the mother of the family, Amelia, had just called Phil, explaining that she was on her way home, and he knew that she would not be happy with him in the slightest if Jack was still awake. Amidst all of this rush, however, one of the strangest events of both Phil's and Jack's lives happened, and nobody can explain what truly happened. Take a look. Jack was waving at seemingly nothing, and it was obvious that Phil was off-put by such a bizarre sight. After the camera cut, Phil questioned the child on what he was waving at, and he said it was some sort of soldier, which was enough to send the poor father into shock. The house they lived in was actually just beside a war memorial, and it was said that some of the soldiers lived in the local properties, which is why they placed it there of all places. The property of Phil and his family was over 200 years old. Perhaps their home was haunted. The time was 12:30 at night when Casey, a gothic girl, heard some noises coming from her kitchen. Out of pure curiosity, she went into the room to investigate what was going on, and she couldn't find any sort of source to the noise. What made things strange was that it was still playing. Wanting to capture the event, Casey took out her phone to record what was happening to show her family and friends in case she was called a psycho and placed into some form of ward. It was when she did this that the noises stopped, but it wouldn't take long for her to film something else instead.
Hi guys, I had just gotten up to show everybody that my fan is just a regular oscillating fan. It's not anything that would be able to move. a ceramic cup, as you can see now. And then I started hearing some noises, so I was going to just record and see what happened. Okay, so you can see a lot of the activity is centered mostly in my kitchen. It's probably not a coincidence. I'll show you guys the garage sometime. It's directly below the kitchen, but yeah, a lot of weird stuff happens down there too.
A fan of the sort which was in the room would not be able to move items that heavy, so it made no sense as to why they would move. The only semi-logical reason that can be made is the wind, but even that would be far-fetched, considering the windows were closed. This leads the viewer base to have drawn one clear conclusion. This was all an act of a spirit, and we can only hope that it was a one-time thing for Casey. When people are told what to do, they often receive it badly and feel less inclined to follow orders. This is because we like to be free in our decisions and have full control over our lives, and it feels violating to have this taken away from us. It is important to consider that other beings such as animals will feel this way too when forced to do something, and I forgot to mention ghosts. There are countless videos online of regular people attempting to command spirits to do things, and I always watch them thinking of how bad the idea is. All it will do is incentivize more activity and lead to more suffering, and that's exactly what happened in this clip.
Do it again. Open the cabinet door again. Come on, slam it. Throw something, do something. Come on now, you can do it. Throw something. Open the cabinet door. The hell? Open the cabinet door. Open the microwave.
Randomly, the spirit started to speak in a childish voice back at the man behind the camera, and this was very odd. He had initially taken out the camera because things such as the cabinet were opening and closing on their own accord, but he had absolutely not expected the spirit to switch up its actions. Perhaps he had frustrated it into becoming even more spooky, or maybe it was simply trying to communicate. That is a question which we will never have the answer to, but feel free to comment your theories down below, because I am interested. Clayton is a man who has been dealing with a haunting for quite some time, but surprisingly, he has just come off the back of what he would like to call a grace period with his spirit. For some odd reason, it left him alone for a solid 2 weeks, and he was truly starting to believe he was safe from everything. However, one day, the grace period ended. Whilst Clayton was working on a project, he started to hear footsteps from outside his door, and he was drilled on this. It was not a human. One of the spirit's most prominent activities was strolling up and down that corridor, and he knew its steps like the back of his palm and started filming to see what he could capture from the ghost's first appearance in a fortnight.
I'm just gonna hang out, record for a little bit, see if I can't catch something. Alright, I heard it again. Sounded like somebody walking back and forth in the kitchen. That one actually sounded like a door latching or opening. There goes my closet door. They're these fucking doors. and keep it on the door. So you guys, nobody's in there? That's weird. That's what you heard drop? Yeah. Nobody's here? I don't know. Kind of fun. Haven't heard anything like that in a while. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks.
From mysterious voices to doors opening, this video hosted a lot of paranormal activity, and you could just see the disappointment in Clayton's face. Due to his sheer experience with this situation, he didn't even look frightened. The only emotion he was giving off was that of being fed up that his burden had crawled back to him another time, and it was now time for him to think out his next steps. From the sounds of things, it seems like he is planning to contact his local church for advice, but other than that we have no further intel. So all that we can do is wish him luck. Now, it's very rare that we go through an entire video without the mention of a ghost hunter, and this video is going to follow that trend. Meet Junho, an experienced hunter who specializes in eradicating spirits rather than simply identifying them. He is on the higher end of hunters, meaning he only works for extraordinarily high-paying and desperate clients, which goes hand in hand with the most dangerous beings. So it is safe to say he is brave, but this journey managed to impose fear into him. I am just going to show you one clip from it that had a deep meaning, but feel free to watch the video yourself sometime.
これが4人部屋か本当に殺風景というか入院するための部屋という感じがしますね。ここにも棚なんか聞こえる。何これ。いきます。え？誰かいる。すいません。え？すいません。開けますよ。開けます。
Now, without the lore, this seems quite tame compared to the other spiritual sightings on the channel, but the story makes things far worse. The ward behind this door has one of the highest death tolls of all hospitals, making it a very dark room. The spirit which decided to haunt Junho on this night must have suffered there, which is why they all choose to scare humans away rather than invite them in with open arms. Jackson from the creepy corner has been suffering from paranormal activity for the past month. When the hauntings first came around, Jackson was frightened to be in his own home, but after a while, he managed to get used to it. Recently, though, a record peak in paranormal activity happened in his house, and he has been starting to get really frustrated with whatever it thinks it has the right to mess with him. I know this is mental, but over the month of the constant ghostly experiences, Jackson failed to capture one on camera, and the video that you are about to see is the first time he managed to get something.
I haven't been back here for not too long. Can you make the light shut off? So you fuckers think that this is fucking fake? You fuckers think that this is fake? Okay.
This video was sent to his family group chat, who all called him an attention-seeking faker when he told them about what was going on. Strangely, the candle launched itself off from the table and onto the floor, and it was clear that no strings or affecting devices were attached. Jackson finally obtained his proof, and his family stopped considering him to be a psychopath. Now I am going to be very quick to introduce the next series of clips, because we have looked at the creator so many times that I have lost count. His name is Mukailo, and if you have watched another video from this channel, the name will likely ring a bell. Anyways, in the following clips, he was on one of his usual ghost hunts for a client who wanted their house cleansing, and he manages to encounter a heap of paranormal activity. Take a look at the first piece. In a mysterious manner, the wardrobe continued to open and close, whilst letting off some sort of windy noise. Mukailo stood there, trying his absolute hardest not to interfere with the spirit's fun in order to capture more evidence for his client. But eventually, it inevitably came to a halt. Most ghost hunters would have surrendered in this situation and turned back home to claim their money. However, despite already witnessing enough to get paid, Mukailo was deeply interested in this poltergeist and wanted to adventure some more, and did. He walked around the house for quite some time until he eventually came across a small, dirty room which appeared to have not been tended to in months. Mukailo chuckled to himself after seeing what state the place was in, knowing that even if the place was not haunted, the owners had a huge task in cleaning the house. Needn't they worry about this though, because the house was indeed haunted, and the next clip further proves this. In the room, some sort of stool began to move on its own accord, and Mikhailo was taken aback by this. Usually in the presence of a spirit you can feel it, the cold and the darkness, overruling all other conditions. However, he felt none of this, and this remains a mystery to date. Mikhailo went back home and was wire transferred his money, but it did not take long for his next job. Out of the blue, his business phone began to ring, and Mikhailo rushed to answer. You never know when the largest offer of your lifetime could spawn, so he never ignored business calls, and he was lucky he did not miss this one. A wealthy male by the name of Sebastian was willing to pay $5,000 to have his house cleansed of evil, and of course, Mikhailo accepted. This is what he found there.
Началось.
Similarly to the last house, a closet was rocking back and forth, which led Mikhailo to believe that both homes shared the same spirit type. This meant that in order to learn how to defeat one of them, he needed to learn how to defeat both. Make sure to subscribe, as Mikhailo's story will be continuing in my next video. In the year of 2010, Donna Ayres became one of the least deserving victims of a haunting ever. She was as innocent as women came and wanted nothing at all to do with evil, having religious texts and ornaments dotted all around her household. Despite this being what was supposed to be a barrier, though, it did not stop her divorced husband's ghost from getting to her. You see, many years ago, Donna was in what she believed was an unhealthy marriage and decided to divorce Scott, the male in question. However, he passed away weeks before this clip was caught on tape, and theorists believe that it was very likely he was the cause.
If you're there, please can you move on to the light? I've never been through this before, and I've never had any experiences like this. I've never been through this before, and I beg in the Lord's name, please, just leave me be, please. It's getting quite frightening now. Have a cross coming down my bloody wall. Oh, I need help. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do it. It's not listening to me. Why would it listen to me? Oh.
The Holy Cross of Jesus Christ slowly eased its way down the wall, and when Donna chose to beckon for help, rather than sit in silence, it thudded onto the ground. If that was the act of her ex-husband, Scott, then maybe it was a great idea to get rid of him. No man who throws a cross to the ground is a man. Elf on the Shelf is a gimmick that has been going on for a very long time, and it is safe to say that the majority of people watching this video are aware of its purpose. I must say that young children should cover their ears though, because what is about to happen reveals stuff that you guys cannot know.
So this is Carol, our Christmas elf. Hello, Carol. Hey, tell Santa we've been really good, okay?
Now, as all of us older people are aware, it is actually the parents who move the elves, which means that they are not in fact supposed to have lives of their own. Because of this, the way its eyes moved in the first place should have been impossible, which leads me, and many other like-minded people, towards one simple conclusion. Some sort of spirit was using the elf as a vessel to gain a somewhat humanoid form again and decided to give this poor woman a fright. Our world is riddenced with non-believers in the paranormal world, and people like the man in the next clip try day in, day out to prove the existence of these interesting entities. No matter how much these people try though, non-believers will always find a logical solution to it, whether it be fishing wire or a minor earthquake. The man in this video, however, did a pretty excellent job at convincing. Have a watch.
This video is for the people out there who think I'm making fake ghost videos. Here's my hands. I have no strings attached to anything. That right there is a vent to my air conditioner unit for the air to come out. There's nothing attached to that. I don't know why some dude thought I was using that for a hoax. I'm in here, I'm hearing strange noises from my living room. Let's check out what we can conjure up. Let's go on the other side of the phone. Here's my hand, here we go. I'm not gonna stop talking so no one thinks I stopped editing, okay? Now, let's see what I can conjure up. If there's any spirits here, feel free to show yourself. Let yourself be known. Apparently I'm haunted because I bought a fucking doll from an estate sale. Is there anything here? Hello? Anybody want to speak? Is anyone here? Hello? Yeah, you saw that fucking shit, didn't you? Hello? You saw that fucking shit? Yeah, explain that fucking shit. Hello? Explain that fucking shit. Fuck that, I'm out of here.
Somehow, despite there being absolutely no cuts and no wire of any sort connected to the pictures, both of them collapsed out of nowhere, almost undeniably proving that poltergeists roam the earth. Of course, as I said though, there will always be a select few people who even choose to deny proof this incredibly surreal, and if you are one of those, then feel free to comment why this was fake. I am keen to hear your reasoning, and am open to being proved wrong. I do not, however, believe that anyone will convince me otherwise that a ghost did this. The night shift. By far one of, if not the most dreaded words for any working person. Working this late has many negative effects, such as ruining your sleep schedule, leaving you a mess the next day, and taking all enjoyment out of the job, which is why so many people hate it. However, after watching the clip that I am about to put on screen, all of these night shift haters will count themselves lucky that they have not been forced to encounter what this poor employee did. His name was Baz, and he worked in a storage faculty. At night, he was left alone in one of the buildings to cater for late dispatches, which did not come much. Little did he know that something else was on shift with him.
Güey, yo por esto les digo que a mí no me gusta quedarme en la oficina solo. La neta, qué mala onda, güey, que se fueron, güey. Les pedí que me esperaran. A mí ya me habían pasado estas cosas. La neta, no se vale.
En una oficina de México se den cosas paranormales constantemente. Uno de los empleados capta en video los impactantes eventos que ahí ocurren. Vamos a verlos.
Güey, yo por esto les digo que a mí no me gusta quedarme en la oficina solo. La neta, qué mala onda, güey, que se fueron, güey. Les pedí que me esperaran. A mí ya me habían pasado estas cosas. La neta no se vale. Güey. Ahí va. ¡Ey! Ay, güey. ¡Ey! ¿Quién anda ahí? Le voy a marcar a la policía, ¿eh? Esto es propiedad privada. ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ey! ¡Ey! ¡Tú, ven acá! Yo ya voy a pagar todo y yo ya me voy. La neta no es justo, güey. Ustedes me vuelven a hacer esto y yo les renuncio, güey. Ya vámonos a dormir. Yo no estoy para estos jugueteos. Hasta el vecino tiene que venir. Bueno. ¡Ay, güey! No. Ay, güey, vamos ya.
All sorts of unexplainable, outrageously spooky stuff happened within a small time span, leading Baz to chase around this spirit for a long period of time. Now you probably thought that the paranormal activity put enough on the poor man's plate, but his employer did not think in the same way. Baz was sacked for not finishing his work on schedule, and no sympathy was given to him. Harsh, I know. In the following video, the time was 4 a.m. and Sakina was fast asleep. She was a very deep sleeper, and usually her soulmate would have to shake her a lot in order to get her out of bed. This night was strange and different though. At 4, Sakina started to hear her dog howling from downstairs, accompanied by some cold sort of feeling that she is still unable to describe. Due to her boyfriend being out of town, she was forced to go downstairs and investigate, but what she found was definitely unexpected.
Eran las 4 de la mañana y mi perrita no paraba de ladrar cuando salí. Capté esto.
Her dog was barking at seemingly nothing, but upon closer inspection, a shadow figure could be seen in the clip, indicating a ghostly presence. Being the innocent girl she was, Sakina brushed this off as being quote-unquote weird lighting and went back inside, but things only became worse from here.
Hola, gente. Otra vez el ruido ese. Poco estoy haciendo compañía hoy, pero ya estoy sola. Todavía se escucha un ruido de abajo y la verdad que no sé. Ay, la con olor a algo ahí. Sora. Sora, subí. Ay, no, Dios santo. Nera.
At first, Shiva thought the hands were a prank from her boyfriend, but as she approached them, they seemingly no-clipped through the stairs. This was pure proof that she was dealing with a spirit and not a bored boyfriend. The following video took place on March 12th of 2014 and featured a young man in his apartment. He had taken residence in this apartment 2 years ago and planned on calling it home throughout his entire time at university. However, little did he know that one event would happen that would put him off the place forever and frighten him from ever visiting again. After the metal box fell, the activity stopped, and the man was left sitting there in utter confusion. He had no idea what on earth just happened, and would not be able to explain it if you paid him to do so. This event was so concerning to him, though, that he contacted the owner of the apartments and let him know that he would no longer be paying rent, and the place would be vacated within a week. He then proceeded to take residence at his grandma's. Children are the most innocent forms of human on the planet, and it really needs to stay this way. When they are exposed to frightening things such as gore or the paranormal world, it can have a very concerning effect on them, and this happened to the child in the next clip. His name was Thomas, and both his parents and daycare workers referred to him as a little angel. He never did anything wrong and was the perfect child, but little did any of them know what he was about to go through. It was 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and Thomas was messing around with his new toys. He had no idea that he was the one who was about to be messed with.
One. Which one? The orange one. And the green one. Come on up. Daddy. D-I-A-M-E-N. I just done.
Somehow the bowl slid itself across the table without any human interaction, and it was very clear that no strings or affecting items were in contact with it. Fortunately, the bowl managed to knock something over, otherwise the parents would have never noticed and would not have checked the cameras for this footage. Now, after releasing this video, it surprisingly received a lot of hate, with the audience claiming that it did not look real in the slightest. The mother of Thomas, on the other hand, was not going to take these claims lightly, so released another video featuring her son in the same location. This time around, a lot more movement happened on the tabletop, as well as a bang coming from the door. In the last clip, Thomas was not able to realize what was going on, so everything was fine. But in this one he did, and he was traumatized to say the least. For the following nights he struggled to get any rest, and was permitted to stay absent from his school by his mother. Due to a lack of updates, we do not know if the boy eventually got over the incident, but all we can do is hope. Now most of the clips that I showcase on this channel are fairly complex and need some analyzing to truly understand what went on. The upcoming video, however, is nothing like that and features some of the most basic paranormal activity out there, but this came in a humongous quantity. So much haunted stuff happened within such a short time period that even I struggled to keep up with things, and I bet you will too. Take a look. All sorts of items started moving in the same room, but there was one specific incident which I wanted to zoom in on for you guys, and I am going to do it. Roughly 23 seconds into the clip, a dark item could be seen gliding across the camera, and I would like to take the obvious assumption that it was the figure of a ghost. Feel free to make your own mind up on what it was in the comments though. Now that was spooky enough for the owners of that house, but what if I told you that on the exact same day they captured something else that was arguably just as terrifying? After witnessing the catastrophe in the other room, they took it upon themselves to check every single camera in the building to try and figure out what caused the incident, but all that they found were more incidents. In this room, a clock started going crazy, and surprisingly, this turned out to be quite a promising lead as to who this spirit belonged to. The owner of the house's father had passed away a couple of years back, and he was a clockmaker. What made this so important was that the clock on the door was actually created by him, so it made sense why he would fiddle with it. Schools are usually full to the brim with life, and we do not usually see them in any other way. It is extraordinarily different to picture a school with barely anybody inside of it, but the employee in the next video was working late, and he lived through that experience firsthand. He explained that it was not creepy to him because he was used to it and worked late every other week. However, for the first time ever, he became terrified, and this moment was captured on video.
All right, I'm just finishing up putting up decorations for the students when they get back. I was on the smartboard setting things up. I'm taking a step back, and you guys know me. I stay late often. It's just me here and the janitor, and let me show you. Do you see? Do you see? I mean, is that not a kid sitting right there? Just me.
Weirdly, there was an odd figure that seemed to be sitting at one of the desks in the same room as the employee. The kid who usually sat in that desk was called Oliver, and he was super brain-rotted. He spent all day shouting words like skibbity and riz, so the employee claimed that having a spirit taking his place was not such a bad thing after all. He did retract this statement when he realized the story behind it though. A girl who attended the school actually passed away in hospital a few hours before the clip occurred. So from the looks of it, the jigsaw pieces came together for the employee. What he saw was the girl exploring the building for one last time, and this fact made things much worse for him. Angel was a family-orientated woman who had a strong belief in God. She was a devoted Christian, and as well as trusting the words of the Bible, she also thought that spirits and the afterlife were factual concepts, so she was not too shocked when she figured out that she was being haunted. That does not speak for her fright levels, though. It was 10 p.m. on a school night, and Angel had just finished getting the children to bed so that she could watch some television. It was at this moment that she received a Ring doorbell notification, and thank the Lord she did not decide to go and look at the scene herself, using the camera instead. What looked like a little girl in a dress could be seen in the door glass, and as if things were not creepy enough, it vanished out of thin air after a few seconds. Now, to Angel's dismay, after posting this video to the internet, she received a lot of uncalled for backlash, as people thought that she had faked the sighting for clout. Unlike most people though, she decided to be brave and respond to the controversy, defeating the haters for good.
Okay, so this is the area, the door that it was like standing inside. We don't have anything or keep anything in this area because it's a walkway and it would be really awkward. And then this is where the security camera is. So when I looked at the footage, I expected to see a person. I didn't expect to see that though.
After this debunking video, people finally believed her story, and the comments suddenly became favorable to Angel. Many people offered spiritual advice and explained that she could always come to them for help, which was very heartwarming, and we know that Angel is now in a safe place. In the outskirts of New Mexico, a plastic bag could be seen floating in the sky, and some of the residents decided to start filming it. This was because they believed the bag was suspicious due to it not flying in several directions and staying completely still, which are both highly unlikely scenarios when something with such a low weight takes flight. Eventually, though, they realized that what they were staring at was not a plastic bag at all. Out of nowhere, the bag disappeared into thin air, and everybody on scene was left very confused. Nobody can explain this event to this day, and the leading theory was that there was a very dark object that it went behind despite the people on site, denying any other buildings being present. On October 17th this year, a security team was operating as per usual in the security room. They were all sitting down laughing with each other, knowing how easy the money they were making was. In their 7 years of being together at the establishment, they had only had to deal with a singular break-in, and it was an elderly man who could not escape them for his life. However, little did they know that this particular night was a much more serious one. The time reached 10:23 p.m. when all of their laughter came to a stop. If you look closely at the door on the right, a white silhouette could be seen until it suddenly vanished. Fortunately, the camera picked up this motion, and the guards were able to go and check it out with no success, of course. Sometimes it's hard to find the real reason why spirits and demons do the things that they do. It doesn't make sense why they tend to just joke around and tease people like they do. Remember Donna from one of our previous videos? Yeah, she continued to be harassed by that strange spirit. It seemed as if it just wanted to mark that kitchen counter of hers as its territory. The countertop was, and still is, a hotspot for paranormal activity, even after she had tried finding ways to stop them. She had tried holy water, salt, and even crucifixes, but they all seemed to be of no effect to the spirit. After so much time trying, Donna started to think she was losing her mind, so she decided to take this clip one time when the paranormal activity was spiking. Take a look.
Hiya guys, I've just thought I'd show this video. People don't believe me, they think I'm going bloody crackers, but when I tell you there's a spirit in this property, there's a spirit in this flat. I'm not crazy. Real weird shit is happening. Now, I've left these trigger objects, they've been here for days, and they keep moving. I know you don't believe me, but it's easier for you just to see yourself in it. I've just come into the room and they've moved again, so it's easier just to watch and see if anything happens now, because it's getting annoying. But I'm kind of getting used to it now, so if there's something here, can you move it again now? Please. Come on, camera's on you now. Did you die horribly? Do you have to haunt me? Can you knock it off the sap? Guys, while you're there, I'm just going to show you that there is nothing under here. That's just a bit of muck, but there is no magnets, there's nothing under there. That's just my crap. But there's nothing there. And yet it's in. Guys, come on. You must be seeing this. You must be seeing this. Am I crazy? Yeah, I look crazy, don't I? Guys, come on, man. Let me just get a bit of view. Do you see the 2p? It has moved from all the way there to there. How is that possible? Guys, man, come on. Guys, look. Look! I'm f***ing crazy! Crazy Donna! Am I crazy? Really? Guys, look. It's just a bloody 2p. It's just a 2p piece. Just a normal 2p piece. Look. How can it move? Come on, guys. How can it move? Guys, seriously. Are you seeing this shit? Guys, come on. How the f can I do that? This is... Guys, come on. Are you seeing this shit? That's twice. That's twice now. Here we are again. And this is what I've been doing since last night. And it just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Guys, watch. Seriously, mate. That's the two pences, yeah? There is no string, there's no magnets, there's nothing. Look, there's nothing. Nothing. Look. Nah, I'm just gonna have a look at this. Because I don't know, but I think I have picked up a little shadow there as well. I know you think I'm fucking bonkers, but I'm not, you know. This shit's happening, so, there's something, I don't know. You have to believe in spirits in order to be open to certain receptors. Now, I don't know if I'm fucking cracking up, if I'm crazy, but this shit's happening. But I've been recording at the other end as well, so I'm going to put the two footages together.
Donna filmed this paranormal activity so that she could confirm all of it was not in her head and was in fact reality, sharing it with her friends, and even tried reaching out to some experts on social media, all in a bid to fully understand what was going on and how to deal with it. A few people seemed not to believe her, but she didn't mind one bit. She just did everything she could to keep herself safe. Jake had always looked forward to living alone after college. The idea of having his own space and getting to do whatever he wanted sounded perfect. He had grown up with 3 brothers, which meant he had to share a bedroom with one of them for all his life. This meant that from kindergarten to high school, and even at college where he still had to share a dorm room, he always had to be in a room with someone. However, after college, he finally found his gateway to freedom. Jake was surfing the internet and found out he could buy a mobile home for about $5,000 and pay for it over time, which was a perfect plan for him. He immediately took out a few hundred from his savings and put it up for the first installment. Despite all this newfound freedom though, he decided he was going to tour the countryside, his homeland one last time, and make some great memories along the way. On one of his stops by the seaside, he decided to stop by a small forest close to the bay. It was quiet and a bit lonely, but it did the trick. Jake brought out his heater and decided to cook some ramen to keep his stomach pleased, while jamming out to some of his favorite childhood tunes. He hit record on his phone camera so he could remember this moment in the future. However, he did not expect what would happen next. The camper van started shaking vigorously as Jake tried moving towards the door. Somehow, it continued banging shut, even as he tried to catch it. Earlier that day, he had heard about some sort of woodland spirit that guarded the woods and would terrorize intruders until they were gone. At that moment, Jake knew exactly what he had to do. He couldn't make the heartwarming memories he wanted to make in these woods. He had to leave as soon as possible, or it would get worse. He packed up all his stuff and drove to the nearest gas station, where he asked the manager to let him spend the night in their parking lot. And that was how Jake escaped what could have been a tragic end to his life. Solomon had a drinking problem, and he knew it. His friends and a few neighbors knew he drank, but they had no idea how bad it truly was. What made things stranger was the fact that Solomon wouldn't strike a stranger as a drinker at first glance. This was because he only drank when he was alone, one of the key parts of being an alcoholic. One time things got so bad that he drank for 3 days straight when his first girlfriend left him, and during this period, the people close to him were becoming highly concerned, and as if things were not already bad enough, Solomon got sacked from the law firm he worked at. This was an extremely low moment, and marks the time that he shut his family off, drinking at will. Just as he was about to finish his first bottle, though, the unexplainable happened.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, I'm all out of drink. I want to go get some more alcohol. Are you okay with that? Gonna do this the best way that I know how. Okay, I'm gonna flip the screen. Oh, shit. There we go. Boom. Okay. There's still a whole ass ring.
He couldn't believe his eyes, and it was as if someone had answered his not-so-smart question. After the monitor fell from the counter, Solomon decided to go to bed and get some well-deserved rest. He thought maybe, since he was off his head, that the event was just a figment of his imagination. However, he checked the video out the next morning and it checked out. Scary stuff, right? A small town on the edge of the Russian map, just close to the North Pacific Ocean, had been terrorized by a series of ghosts over and over again. It became so bad that the mayor tried numerous things to get rid of the spirits terrorizing the town. However, none of these methods were a success. From an exorcist, ghostbusters, all the way to a priest, nothing seemed to work, and all hope seemed lost, until a few months later, when a man named Mikhailo came around. He went straight to the mayor and told him that he had experience hunting down ghosts and had heard about the town's situation. The mayor agreed and asked him to make sure he doesn't scare the townspeople more than they already were, discouraging scaremongering, which was why he was such a respected man. Careless of the mayor's reputation, though, Mikhailo went to work and spoke to the townspeople to find out where most of the ghost sightings were, and he was able to triangulate the appearances to an abandoned house at the edge of town. He knew that it must have been the homestead for the ghosts where they all came from, and he was correct. Mikhailo geared up and went to the building to get started. He set up different cameras at strategic points in the building and put up a live stream that would connect back to his house. Everything was ready, and he went in, but this happened. Now, most people were left wondering why Mikhailo's reaction was so calm. But if you are a regular on this channel, then you are sure that he is no stranger to the paranormal world, and this was light work. Annoyed at how subtle this sighting was, he continued his search and actually ended up finding something else. The ghost seemed like it was trying to frighten Mukelo into leaving, and surprisingly, it got its own way, but not for the reason of fear. Mukelo needed to leave, as it was almost breaking dawn, which meant that the paranormal activity would be reduced and his gear wouldn't work as well as it should. No ghosts meant no money, and no money meant no bills. He was out of there. Barbara was a single mother who had decided to come to France to start her life fresh. She had just about had enough of her tough life these past few years and could really do with a break. She lost her husband at the war front and she just couldn't take it, abandoning her kids and taking to a life of drugs, which was not a look anybody liked to see her in. Social services took her 2 boys and she ended up being sent to rehab, rightfully so. After 5 long years, Barbara finally made it out, but she had to fight the longest legal battle of her life to get her kids back. It took an entire year to resolve, but somehow, despite the low odds, it was a success in her favor and she was allowed to retain her offspring. Mark, the older son, was now 12, and her youngest boy, Andrew, was 7. As if by miracle, both of the boys remembered her, even though Andrew was only 12 when the whole drama unfolded. Everything seemed to be going in Barbara's favor, until Martina, the woman who had fostered and even allegedly abused the boys, came up to her forcefully and cursed her. She told Barbara that she would never have peace, and that she would hunt her down wherever she went to take the kids back. And this threat was seen as a joke by the authorities, Barbara too. She never really took it to heart and understood the woman's perspective. A few months later, she got a full-time job in France and had to move there with the children. It was then that she started to fear the words Martina had told her. Strangely, there was always a noise coming from one of the vents in the house at night, and Barbara couldn't help but hide from the fact that it may have been to do with Martina. One night, she decided to start recording the noise and all the weird stuff that was going on in the house. It was then that this clip arose.
À bientôt pour un nouveau concert.
One of Andrew's toys had turned on all by itself and started to make noise in the middle of the night when Barbara walked into the room and turned it off. She shrugged this off as some sort of silly malfunction, but a few hours later, it happened again.
À bientôt pour un nouveau concert.
Reluctantly, Barbara got up and tended to the toy again. However, the third time it happened, things were much creepier.
C'est quoi ça?
It was then that she realized the dark truth behind all of this. The toy had been bought by Martina for Andrew, and she knew exactly what to do next. The toy was placed into the trash and never seen again, along with all other items that Martina had purchased for the children over her time with them. It seemed crazy that a seemingly regular woman had the abilities to curse items, but better safe than sorry. Dustin grew up as a kid with his family in the Appalachian Mountains, as he loved the mountains and hiking. However, after some time, the magic of the beautiful grass-covered mountains started to fade. It was like there was something off about them. The grasses started to creep deeper into the forest. The flowers started blooming later than usual, and a lot of things just didn't look as pretty as they used to. People said it was because a girl had been murdered in the mountains and her killer had gone free. Dustin at first didn't believe all of that kind of stuff. He was older now, and felt like those kinds of tales were just to scare kids and all. However, he got a piece of some paranormal action when he decided to move out of his parents' house. He found a place much closer to the mountains he loved as a child, and far away from noisy people. One fateful night, his dog randomly bolted out of the house at night, and then this happened.
Guys. Cherokee, Dewey, come on.
It was after this experience that Dustin started to see things differently and started to believe in the paranormal. Perhaps that child was murdered and served injustice. Perhaps Dustin was the stupid one all along. In the following video, Daniel Brown was in his small home all by himself, while his girlfriend was in town doing the grocery shopping. Daniel was watching some YouTube because he had finished his work for the day and had nothing much else to do, but out of nowhere, an unexpected event took his attention away from the platform. After this event, Daniel explained that he has always felt like he is being watched since, and does not feel safe in his own house one bit. Think he is overreacting? Well, take a look for yourself.
Alright, people. I don't know what exactly is going on here, but there's been a lot of weird noises happening in my house, and I can't explain them whatsoever. Down this hallway is where it usually happens. From the bathroom here to the bedroom. So about 2.5 weeks ago, I was just sitting in my lounge room, just on my computer, chilling, watching some YouTube, and I heard footsteps track from about here, going into the bedroom, even though the door was closed. Like, no shit, I was sitting here by myself, right there on my setup. And the fuck was that? Are you hearing that? Did you just fucking hear that? Just as I'm talking about it. Come on, happen again. Come on. Keep going. Keep it going. Sounds like someone's trying to open this door. Bear in mind, there are no windows open in here. There are no windows or doors open in here right now, so I can't explain what is happening. I keep hearing footsteps, doors fluttering. These lights seem to flicker every now and then, but I'm just thinking that's an electrical issue. Me again. Hold on. And there's no one. What the fuck, I swear to God. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on in here and it's interesting and I love it. It's amazing. Peace out.
Now, unfortunately, Daniel was unable to incentivize the spirit to move the door on camera, but he did capture the footsteps from the other side. And in order to prove the clip's validity, he searched the room. There was nothing in there that could have caused footstep noises. Daniel and his girlfriend are currently in the process of moving house, as they are terrified of what this spirit was capable of next time. All we can do is wish them luck in the future. This next video has a very similar principle to the last one I showed you and involves some kind of movement coming from another room. This clip went the extra mile though, and the person behind the camera, Sabrina, managed to capture some extra paranormal activity along the way.
Did you hear that? It sounds like somebody's walking up there. Bro, my fucking eyes are watering. This is scaring me. Hold on. Oh my God, as soon as I stopped it, I heard it. Fucking shit. I know you guys heard that. I hope I got that. Did you hear it? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Look, nobody's up here. Oh my God. Look at his door is closed. Oh my God. Nope, 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 nope. I gotta tell my daughter, boo-boo. Oh my God. There's water in my eyes. Oh my God. Why does it sound like, and I recorded it. It sounded like somebody's in your brother's room. And I went up there to show that the door was closed. Tell me why his door opened when I went up there. I swear, I ran down here by myself. I'm recording it. Come up there with me to show them nobody's here. Oh my God. That made my eyes water, you guys. I showed it on camera. My son is not home. I'm not going to stop the recording just so I can show you guys.
That's scary.
I know, I ran down here. I ran down here so fast. Okay. Oh my God, that scared me. And it sounds like somebody's walking around up there, and I got it on recording. Yes, hold on. Look at his door is moving. Okay, we're gonna go up there and I'm gonna show you guys nobody is in his room. He is not here. Turn your flashlight on. Oh my God. Hurry up and come up here so you can point it to show nobody's in the room. Look. Look. Nobody's in here. Nobody.
Look, even Pixie.
You guys literally, you seen that in real time with me. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Oh no. I told you guys. And there's been that mimic. And my daughter has heard it when I'm not here. It says my name, or it says her name in my voice when I'm not here. And it says my name in her voice when I'm not here. Or when she's not here. And now that's happening. Look at my dog. Oh, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not coming under the side of the house no more. Oh my God.
Strangely, what seemed to be footsteps could be heard from the attic, and like any normal person, Sabrina got pretty worked up about this. She and her daughter were the only two people in the house, so it made absolutely no sense why these noises were being made. In the heat of the moment, both her and her daughter believed that the noises were coming from a squatter, people who live in your house uninvited. However, after catching the door opening on its own accord, they both tilted more towards the paranormal side and left it up to their audience to decide what caused it. I will do the same. Make sure to comment whether you think this was caused by a squatter or a spirit, because I am keen to hear your thoughts. During the summertime, family kayaking is a very popular activity as it allows for physical activity, as well as some great family bonding. One man, however, by the name of Drew, always kayaked alone because his wife had a huge fear of the water, which was passed down onto the children from her. Talk about a bad influence. Over his years of going out on his kayak, Drew had found some amazing things, from submerged trucks to head-to-heads with alligators, and in this video, he found something just as cool. Little did he know that this thing was haunted though, and you are about to discover why.
I don't know if anybody can see this or not, but I just reported it. That's a car in the river. That is an SUV. Look at this. Completely fully submerged. It honestly looks like a Kia Soul. Can you guys see that?
Dad, pay attention. We're swimming to the edge.
The leading theory here was that the muffled voices were coming from underwater, but not from real people. They came from the poor family who passed away when the car submerged. This is the leading conclusion because one of the voices says, "Dad, pay attention because we are close to the edge." This was likely his or her last sentence before they were fighting for their lives, likely finished off by some hungry alligators downstream. After processing this scenario, Drew did the only morale thing and called a pickup truck to come and take the vehicle from the river so that they could recover any potential bodies who did not manage to get out of the car. What Drew saw was beyond shocking though.
Here it comes now. A white Kia Soul.
In the back of the car, some sort of human figure could be seen moving around, but this was no normal person because a few moments later, nothing was in the back seat. This figure was the figure of the youngest child who passed away in the car, and he was aged just 11. He came out to this area because his dad thought it would be a great adventure and never came back. The person in this next clip was called Mukelo, and we have actually taken a look into a lot of his previous content. He is a ghost hunter who posts his findings to YouTube in order to gain more customers, and his marketing strategy is genius, to be fair. The things he sees are beyond crazy, and no regular human would be able to endure them without letting out a scream. Mukelo, on the other hand, did this to pay the bills, and was far past the point of being frightened by, quote, such harmless entities. The upcoming ghost hunt started in the last video on this channel, and he was paid a big amount of money to get rid of the spirits inside of this building. First though, he needed to detect them and find some paranormal activity for evidence of a spiritual presence. The opening and closing of this cupboard lasted a lot longer than this and would not stop no matter what. Mukelo stayed there despite being bored out of his mind because he was offered $100 for every 10 seconds of haunted activities going on, and it is safe to say he made over $2,000 from this cupboard alone. Eventually, the cupboard stopped moving, and Mukelo debated leaving the property due to the sheer amount of money he had already earned. However, he was a man of pride and knew that leaving so soon would only annoy the person who paid him to come on this mission, and the review would be a horrible one, tarnishing his business. It was getting late, and he activated his night vision camera when it detected this. The boot tried to work its way across the room in the strangest way possible, and the cabinet also started shaking vigorously. The fact that both of these coexisted with each other meant that there were two ghosts in the property, which meant double trouble for Mukelo. He left the house and asked the owner for a pay rise before starting his plan to get rid of them both. On September 3rd of 2024, Sylvia was in her house doing one of her routine reviews. Her dream was to become a superstar on social media, and the beginning for her journey was food reviews, as she was really into cooking. In the video that you are about to see, she was hyping up a sweet that she had never tried before and seemed really excited to give it a go. However, a diversion occurred when she decided to show her audience the mirror that her children gifted to her for Mother's Day. This diversion led to a very eerie scene. Take a look.
Gente, eu vou comer com vocês o melhor brigadeiro da vida, que é da doceria da Lulu. E olha que bonitinho que eu ganhei no Dia das Mães atrasado, mas ela me deu. É espelhinho de bolsa, deixa eu abrir e mostrar. Olha, que lindo. Deixa eu abrir. Ai, meu Deus. Amei. E agora vamos provar. Eu sou, tipo assim, viciada nesse brigadeiro dela. É simplesmente o melhor brigadeiro que eu já comi na minha vida. Nossa, gente. É muito bom. Muito bom.
If you look very closely at the mirror, some sort of ghostly face could be seen on the other side, and Sylvia said that nothing in front of her at the time resonated that image in any shape or form, leading one theory to reign superior over the rest. A spirit of some sort was staring right back at her that day. One paranormal event in isolation is by far spooky enough, but a sequence of events, I have no idea how people cope. Arash Afnan was launched into one of these paranormal sequences on a random Saturday night when he extended his son's curfew. After these incidents happened, I bet he would have wished he did not let his son stay up so late, because no child should be forced to experience something on this magnitude of scary.
Lubis, tidur dalam bilik Lubis. Lubis. Lubis.
All sorts of unnatural things occurred, from moving toys to a flying carpet. However, one event outstood all of the others, and it was the flashing of the microphone. You see, this was a touch-activated toy and was getting old, so needed a lot of pressure to activate. So much that it even takes the father a good 15 seconds to get it working for his son. For a ghost to get something like that working, it must have been extraordinarily powerful, and that is putting things lightly. Sombra was a very young Spanish girl, aged 13, and loved to post her makeup routines to social media. It took a lot of begging for her mother to allow her to do it, and in the end, they concluded that the account would be controlled by her parents. They thought they would just be hitting upload every other day and see nice and wholesome comments about Sombra. However, one day the notifications they received were very odd. People were explaining how a door moved on its own accord and how they heard noises coming from all around her. So anxiously they watched the video.
Bueno, me puse a grabar porque estoy escuchando cosas. Entonces, el rímel. Me manché un poco. Uy, quedaron súper bonitas. Abajo también. No entiendo por qué.
me hago rápido y yo me voy. Es que chicos, yo estoy sola. Voy a ir a ver. Voy a ir a ver. Sí, la verdad no sé. No sé por qué es así, pero bueno, voy a acabarme de hacer rápido, pero el pelo. Yo como que me voy así peinada porque la verdad que no sé.
The comments were right, and Sombra's parents never allowed her to post again, believing that this is what summoned the responsible spirit. In the following video, Amy, a recent college graduate, was home all by herself when some strange stuff started to happen. It was roughly 2 in the afternoon, and her roommates both had to go and attend a university lecture, leaving her all alone. Amy decided to dedicate the time to catching up on her favorite TV series, but clearly there was an entity that did not want her to follow through with said plans.
It's f***ing happening again. I can record it this time. Come on. Look. Can you see that? The fuck? That's... What the hell? They're all open. What the hell is that? Oh my god. Are you kidding me right now?
Strangely, all sorts of paranormal activity started occurring in the kitchen, and Amy was forced to investigate closer. She entered the room where she was in the thick of the horrors, and the spirit went as far as flinging a can onto the floor, which could not have happened without human contact, but it did. She never decided to inform her roommates on what happened that night, in fear that she would receive a negative response, but the event still sticks with her to date. On April 18th of 2010, a group of security officers heard some banging from the room above them, and in response decided to check the cameras. At first, they all believed that this would just be a regular employee making lots of noise, but then they remembered that there were only 8 other staff members on shift, and they were supposed to be in the other building. Due to this, they had their speculations that a burglar may have broken into the premises, but little did they know that things were much worse than that. Somehow, after checking the cameras, nothing was up there, and the officers started to question what was happening. As they came to the logical conclusion that a shelf must have fallen over though, the spirit acted in front of their very eyes. From tampering with the lockers to rolling the wheelchair, this spirit was clearly passionate about making its presence known. No one can explain this event with a logical answer, so the consensus is that this truly was a haunting. Any obligations to that statement can be put into the comment section. Now this next clip is one of, if not the shortest pieces of footage on this channel, but as many wise people know, quality comes far above quantity. It took place in the midst of the Christmas season on December 23rd of 2012, and highlighted a mother filming the gift that she purchased for her daughter. She wanted it on record because she was a big lover of photos and believed that they were the best way to capture memories, and in this instance, nightmares.
Bueno, aquí les presentamos a la muñeca de Bessie que se la regalaron a sus 15 años.
No manches, mira.
Whilst the mother was innocently showing off the doll, it turned its head towards her in such a quick motion that she did not realize. However, the person behind the camera noticed exactly what happened and was quick to let the mother know. The reaction was definitely called for. According to the person who filmed this fascinating piece of footage, 30 minutes after the event, they had police knocking on the door, who had apparently been summoned by neighbors. The mother's scream was so loud that the entire street heard it and were worried that there may have been some sort of domestic abuse going on. Would you have called the cops in that sort of situation? I'm keen to hear what you guys think, because I would certainly have checked for further information beforehand. Old videos are some of the most believable sightings of spirits because the technology back then was nowhere near good enough to properly stay things of such magnitudes. Nowadays, creators can open an editing software and make all sorts of spooky stuff happen, but back then, this was not the case, and that is why I believe that the upcoming clip was completely legitimate. It took place in the male locker room, and Michael and Lexus both witnessed a locker opening on its own accord. This obviously spooked them out more than most things, so they got their friend to use their brick phone to film what was happening, and this is what was caught.
Hi, I'm Michael and this is Lexus. Hi, we've been hearing weird stuff that's going on in this locker and a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
We got lockers opening, weird noises, stuff dropping.
Yeah.
All that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Cold feeling in your legs.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like feeling cold.
Yeah. Feels like you're in a freezer.
Yo, what the hell was that? Did that broom just... Did you guys knock that or it fell?
No way. No. That was an actual holster.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
It's getting scary now. Wait.
How did this thing come off?
Oh, hold on a second.
I don't know about...
Something's not right. Hold on a sec, guys.
It's attached to this. I don't think that can come loose.
Yo, what was that? Wait, hold on, guys, be quiet. See which locker that's coming from. It's one of these lockers.
It's coming from this locker.
Hold on, get back.
Get back.
Oh, shit. Can you open that again? Oh, shit. Jeez.
Can you make any noises? You want me to see if I can...
I don't know, just stay away.
Okay, my guess this thing really wants to...
Alright, what else you have to say?
The locker continued to make noises, as well as opening and closing even after the camera was taken out, which went to show that this poltergeist was far from camera shy. The trio who were in the locker room were stumped to the maximum and had no idea how to react to this, but just in case they were deemed as fakers, they made sure to record their proof.
Fucking locker. Shiny ass bitch. Let's check it out.
Open it, see what's inside.
Oh shit, there's nothing in there.
Come on. Scaring me.
Check inside, see if it's pressure plated.
I don't see it.
Everything. Check inside. What's the...
Yo, I'm feeling cold. I'm feeling cold.
Something just hit me.
What the hell?
Okay, that thing just hit me on my leg.
Right up there.
This thing just hit me right on my leg.
Second.
Okay, something's in here, and I don't know what the hell is going on. This, that, locker opening. What next? You start floating in the air? Oh my god. Something's in there. Something is coming.
And, what's that over there?
Where?
Okay.
The duo got their friend who helpfully agreed to record the incident to film the inside of the locker to protect them all from being called fakes, and they found nothing inside the locker. This is the only thing that forced everybody to believe them, and a priest was summoned to the high school on the very next day. Michael, Lexus, and their good friend, that we will call the cameraman, were the heroes of the institution, and they became known for busting the locker room spirit. Jerry Bruce was an elderly man who had experienced his fair share of paranormal activity. To be more specific, he had experienced a 12-year haunting in his last home and in consequence was forced to enter a new house, despite being unable to sell the old one, which set him very far back financially. He believed that the cost would be worth the peace and quiet of being able to live in a pure home. But little did he know that this spirit was not attached to the old house. It was attached to him. On his third night in the new home, he was loving life, and nothing odd had happened up to that point. It was then that his spirit decided to make him aware that it had followed him, and that he had wasted his money trying to escape it.
Everybody can see this and I've done it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting the hell out of here.
For some reason, the closet handle started rattling at a very unnatural pace, and after seeing this, Jerry made sure to open the door and clear up that nothing was on the other side. At least nothing that could be considered visible. A highly discussed theory is that the handle was just slippery and was shaking for that reason, but that was an awfully unlikely conclusion. Some people just fail to acknowledge the existence of spirits, unlike subscribers of my channel. The following video is quite a weird one compared to some of the others I usually show, but there is definitely a good amount to discuss about it, so I decided to take a look at it anyway. It took place in the house of Rosanna, a widow with no children and near to no family. This face becomes very relevant after you watch the clip, so make sure that you keep it dented in your mind. She had no children. The video happened at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, shortly after she had eaten some lunchly for her dinner. It was the cheapest thing she could find in Walmart. Whatever was in the lunchly must not have been good though, because straight after finishing it, this happened.
Je suis frigorifiée. Et il y a cette odeur-là, de pourriture. Je sais qu'il est là. Tant pis.
Qui es-tu? Qui es-tu? Allez. Allez, dis. Qui es-tu?
Disregarding the fact that the pencil was snatched from her hand by an invisible entity, at the end of the clip, a baby could be heard crying. And this is why I highlighted the fact that she had no children earlier. Somehow a baby had entered her house, or at least that's what it seemed like, until she went to investigate.
Arrête. Arrête.
The woman went to see what the baby crying was, and whether the poor thing emitting the sounds was okay. However, when she arrived on scene, there was a tab open on her laptop, playing the sound effects. To the side of the laptop was a doll that she had never owned, and to make matters even worse, it was levitating off the ground. Eventually, it dropped, and after searching the entire sentiment room, the place where the woman kept her childhood belongings, in case she ever did have a kid, there was no doll in sight. Workplaces are supposed to be peaceful and calm in order to maintain concentration, but the one in this next video was far from that. It belonged to the father of a small family and was located on the bottom floor right by the kitchen. This was seemingly the perfect location for an office due to its nice airflow and location where the rest of the family had no need to interrupt him. However, something upstairs did. Have a watch.
So I'm in my dining room right now. I'm just organizing some Christmas stuff. Don't judge me. I'm home alone, of course, because my husband left to run literally one errand that's going to take like 20 minutes. And I swear I'm hearing like, I don't know, some sort of noise coming from upstairs in the Airbnb. No, we don't have guests up there right now. And even Susanna's chilling here with me, and she's been like looking up at the ceiling too, confirming that I'm not crazy. And I swear it's coming from my husband's office, because this room is notorious for hearing stuff above the ceiling. Oh my god. Absolutely not. Do you guys hear that? Now that I'm up here, I don't hear anything, but I know I'm not crazy because, like I said, Susanna was looking around too. And sometimes people have asked me, do you ever feel like someone's watching you or someone's up there with you? Yes. Sometimes I feel like there's literally someone following me, which I know sounds crazy, but it's not.
Even after scanning the entire upstairs floor for any sign of movement, the woman found nothing and was left completely convinced that a spirit was haunting the second floor. The father, on the other hand, was not so easily convinced and hired pest killers to come and handle what he deemed to be rodents in the walls. Which side do you believe? These middle-aged men were all sitting around the table discussing their business matters when a huge shock made sure they left the table feeling that little bit more disturbed. The men decided to have their dinner together as a celebration for one of them reaching $3,000 a month on their first business, which they were all extremely proud of. When they were younger, they all wanted to run successful businesses, and none of them were on the wrong track. It was great to see. However, during this excellent dinner meetup, full of nothing but food and good vibes, one of the strangest events of these men's lives occurred. Take a look.
Did you hear it? What? I didn't. What? 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 I think I saw it. It's on camera. Have a look. What? 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 I'm so pissed. What? What was it then? Shit. What's going on? I've just got out of the room. What are you fucking screaming about and looking white in the face for and got a mouth open at Halloween? What? I saw it fall off the fucking shelf. What? I think that's just broken on the floor. What was it? That one.
Somehow, a vase fell from the counter onto the floor and shattered to pieces. The man who screamed was actually the one who had reached the $3,000 per month, and it was quite upsetting for the men to see his day being tarnished by something so minuscule. They were all convinced that this was not a ghost and must have just fallen due to them moving too much, but he was not sure whatsoever. He was convinced it was a spirit and tells the story as if it was to this day. We have looked into several clips filmed by a man called Jake on this channel, and his story never seems to end. It all started a few weeks back when he captured a spirit on the CCTV cameras placed in his daughter's room, and ever since then, the paranormal activity in the property has flown through the roof. From unaccompanied footsteps to cupboards opening on their own accord, we have witnessed all sorts of paranormal events unfolding from the camera of Jake, and this is no different in the following video.
So I'm sitting here gaming, and that object up there swung and literally smacked the glass really hard. Damn reflection, but look, still moving. Let's get you before it stops. Look, still moving. Oh no, it moved. Look, it was sitting there, as you can see from the dust. Oh, so it moved. Alright. Can you make it swing again? Damn, I really need to wipe off in there. Look at all that shit. Can you make it swing again? Try to open that more. Hello? Can you make it move again? Oh, look. It made them all move now. Nice. Can you make it swing like you did before when it hit the glass? It's going out of focus. Alright, now I said swing it, not move it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And I opened that thing, so probably let the damn thing out. Yo, this thing keeps moving. I'm like nervous and shaking. And I'm lightheaded a little bit. Keeps going out of focus. Surprised them things ain't shaking more, how much it moved. I'm so nervous, man. So lightheaded. I don't regret this, but can you make it move again? Can you make it move again? So lightheaded. Can you slide it the other way? Keeps going out of focus. Yo! Was that a nickel, a dime, a penny? Look, there's my change. That thing went flying. How did it not hit the glass? See, that was some glitch in the Matrix shit. Yo, I gotta rewatch that, cause how to get past that glass and fly behind this stuff. The fuck is that? That's definitely not what flew out. I don't even know where that went. Or even... That looked like a quarter or a nickel or a dime, because it wasn't no penny. That shit was too shiny for that. I'm like freaking out. See, it keeps going out of focus, man. I think something's in there. I'm good. It can stay in there. Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that again, because I'm a little stumped on how it didn't hit the glass.
This time around, Jake heard some tapping noises coming from the cupboard, and he had to go and investigate what was going on. It was here when he found out that an object inside of it was causing this, followed by other items moving around the place, finishing with a dime. I am certain that we will receive more clips showcasing Jake's troubles though, so subscribe. Throughout the next 4 videos, including this one, we will discuss a man called Roland, who has been experiencing paranormal activity for a long time now. He constantly captures clips regarding the paranormal and has featured on this channel several times, so it only makes sense to include a lot more of him. In order to keep up with his story though, make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss certain parts. Anyways, without further ado, in the video you're about to see, Roland was in his garage trying to find a toolbox when he captured something more than shocking.
Alright. What in the hell was that? There's something up there. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. I heard something over here and then over there. Alright, I feel something in the air right here. My bike looks like it has been moved. It looks like something... What the hell is that? Alright, something just fell over here. Is there a spirit in here that just made something fall? Was there a spirit that moved my bike? Something. It's outside. I'm gonna get hurt. It's outside, but I'm gonna try to get out there fast. Oh, shoot. Alright, I just heard something. It's like a whistle. It's like somebody was whistling out here. Legit, somebody just whistled. Where the hell?
Weirdly, there was a spirit in his garage messing around with his bike, and he was far from appreciative about this. Things only got worse for Roland from here though, so remember what I said previously. Turn on post notifications so you can keep up to date with the other clips that he entails. In the following video, American video creator Ancha Ninja Japan was conducting a tour of a house for his viewers when the unexpected happened. All he expected to come from this tour was some cash from the TikTok Creator Fund, but what he did end up getting was far from that, and not for the correct reasons either. The rent of the apartment was over $700 per month, which in case you don't know is actually a fairly cheap price. So the creator expected this house to gain a sale, and he would receive a commission too, but little did he know that posting this would do the opposite of attracting customers, because people do not tend to enjoy a haunted house.
Here's what $760 gets you in Fukuoka, Japan. Now today we have a classic Japanese home, starting with a very nice tatami room. This house will run you a monthly rent of 12 man. This 4-bedroom home is in a wonderful location. 3-minute walk away from a supermarket, electronics store, and convenience stores. And just a 5-minute bike ride, you are at the train station. So you're easily able to get to the center of the city. Lovely little kitchen area, and lots of kitchen storage with this built-in cabinet. Next we have this interesting little room here, which could easily be an office or gaming room. And it wouldn't be a Japanese home without very steep stairs. Also, don't forget to check out my apartment tour playlist. And upstairs we have one more tatami room. If you've never been around tatami mats, they put off a very nice smell. And here we have a room with a hardwood floor. There's not much of a view, but you do have wonderful natural lighting. I lived in Seattle for many years and I am traumatized and I need all the natural light I can get. Also, if you're someone with a car or planning to get a car, this house comes with a parking spot. Classic toilet. Also, mind you, the toilet has a sink on the back. I think many people don't realize that. And last, a classic Japanese bathroom. So what do you think of this house? Would you live here?
Now it took me a few attempts to actually decipher what made this clip so weird when I received it through email, but after watching it back a few times, I noticed something severely unsettling around 5 seconds in. You could see a black figure on the other side of the wall, staring at the creator before disappearing on second sight. Very creepy indeed. Speaking to the paranormal is an ability that many people dream of obtaining, but if you are one of those people, you will take back your wishes after watching this next video. It took place in the room of Lucas, who had recently lost the love of his life to a car crash and had not yet recovered. He left all sorts of memorabilia of her lying around the house in order to help him cope and remind him of the memories, but the last thing he wanted to happen was about to happen. I guess when you understand what caused it, you could say he brought it upon himself.
So this app, We Contact, claims to use AI to connect to the spirit realm and let you talk to ghosts. I am obviously skeptical, but I'm curious. So I thought I'd use it, give it a shot, and record myself. So let's see how this works. Is there a spirit here with me?
Yes, there is a spirit here with you.
Okay. What's your name?
You know my name.
I know your name. Alright, have we met before?
Why are you acting like this? Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. Are you feeling okay?
I'm a little cold, and everything is dark in here. Why do you have the lights out?
It's actually daytime in my house.
I've been calling you all day, baby, and you've been ignoring me. If something's wrong, say so. Let's talk about this. It's making me very angry.
Lucas found one of those highly advertised apps which claimed to have the power to speak to the dead, and in desperation to speak to his significant other, he instantly started the download. It supposedly did not take long to load onto his phone, which was a surprise due to his low data, but after the call, he wished he had never started it. When she told him that she was angry, he was ready to call it rubbish and delete the app, but it was at this moment that her picture fell to the ground. This confirmed that this was real, albeit that was not a good thing. On November 30th of 2018, a middle-aged woman was trying to work out how to do something on her phone when she accidentally opened up the camera app. This was seemingly an event that would not cause any impact, as she usually made mistakes like this when using modern technology, but little did she know that this would cause her phone to become, well, strange to say the least. For the next few days, she continued as normal as if nothing happened, not telling anyone what had happened to hide herself from all of the embarrassment. What she had no idea about, though, was the fact that she had no need to hide because somehow she was already hiding. Confused as to what I mean? Watch the clip.
Y'all, I am in my yard. Watch my face. This is not an app doing this. This is my yard. The church is behind me. Watch my face. Church, you can see straight through me. I kid you not. Look at this. Whoa.
As weird as this may have been, the camera continued to make her invisible when she directed it towards the church, and she was adamant that this was not a filter. Regardless of whether she did accidentally apply one or not, I am not going to give my verdict and invite you to make that decision in the comments. In the last video, we stepped into the home of Raj and his roommate, who had been living a fairly regular life until their nightmare came to the front door. Raj was a huge fan of ancient objects and loved to order them to the house despite his roommate's dissatisfaction. Only time would tell that Raj should have listened. One day, he ordered a mummy, which the owner claimed to be a real practice replica from the ancient Egyptian era. Even though he received no evidence that this mummy was legitimate, Raj was too keen to take the offer, and ever since then, his home has been haunted. The upcoming clip took place 2 days after the mummy incident and was arguably just as terrifying.
You guys hear that? What the hell? Hello? What? Come on. It's not turning on. Shit. What the hell, dude? I'm getting enough of this shit. Seriously. Hello?
This time around, some very similar things happened to last time, and the eerie corridor of rooms really lived up to its eerie status. From objects moving alone to a wave of chills, Raj definitely felt an awful presence, and I am sure this will not be the last clip we see that was taken by him on the channel.